Alright, let's dive into this preseason matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals, a game that, on paper, might seem like just another exhibition, but trust me, there's a lot more to unpack here. And it all starts with one name, Haynes King. Personally, I think King's performance in this game is the kind of story that makes preseason football fascinating. Here's a guy who wasn't even drafted, yet is out there in the Hall of Fame game, leading a game-winning drive like it's no big deal. What makes this really interesting is how King's college success at Georgia Tech, where he was ACC Player of the Year, didn't translate into draft buzz. It raises a deeper question: how many players like King slip through the cracks? And more importantly, could he be the next undrafted gem to make a name for himself in the NFL? Now, let's talk about that final play. King runs it in from the 5-yard line to win the game, 33-30. In my opinion, that's the kind of clutch moment that separates players who are just there from those who could be something special. What many people don't realize is that preseason games are often about these moments, not just for rookies, but for coaches too. Dave Canales, the Panthers coach, praised King's ability to keep the play alive, and I think that's a huge compliment. It's not just about the stats: 21 of 34, 180 yards, 2 TDS, it's about the intangibles. From my perspective, King's performance is a reminder that football isn't just about arm strength or 40-yard dash times, it's about grit and instincts. On the other side of the ball, Carson Beck had a debut that's hard to ignore. A third-round pick out of Miami, Beck looked like he'd been playing on this stage for years. What this really suggests is that the Cardinals might have something special brewing, even if their division is a gauntlet. Personally, I think Beck's poise under pressure is a huge deal. Mike LaFleur, the Cardinals coach, called it just another game for Beck, but let's be real, not every rookie handles the national stage like that. If you take a step back and think about it, Beck's performance could be a sign that Arizona's future isn't as bleak as some predict. One thing that immediately stands out is how both teams leaned on their backups and reserves. This wasn't a game about starters, it was about depth. Keaton Slovis, for example, came in for the Cardinals and threw a TD pass to Bryson Green to take the lead late in the game. What this really highlights is the importance of the next man up mentality. In my opinion, teams that can rely on their second and third strings are the ones that survive the grind of an NFL season. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Panthers won the NFC South last year with an 8-9 record, and the Cardinals are in a division with the Seahawks, Rams, and 49ers. What makes this game fascinating is how it sets the tone for what's to come. For Carolina, King's performance could be a preview of their QB depth, something they'll need if Bryce Young or Kenny Pickett go down. For Arizona, Beck's debut might be the first step in a long-term plan to rebuild. A detail I find fascinating is how both teams honored their legends. The Cardinals wore Larry Fitzgerald's number 11 during warm-ups, and Fitzgerald himself said it was a great feeling. It's a reminder that football is as much about legacy as it is about the present. And speaking of legacy, the 2026 Hall of Fame class, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Roger Craig, and Adam Vinatieri, is absolutely stacked. If you take a step back and think about it, this game was a bridge between the past and the future. Finally, let's not forget the broadcast. Mike Tomlin making his debut as an analyst for NBC. That's a big deal. Personally, I think Tomlin's insights are going to add a whole new layer to football coverage. What many people don't realize is that having a coach's perspective in the booth can completely change how we understand the game. So, here's my closing thought: preseason games are often written off as meaningless, but this one, it was anything but. From King's heroics to Beck's poise, this game was a reminder that every snap matters, even when the starters are on the sideline. It raises a deeper question: who's going to be the next undrafted player to shock us all? Or the next rookie to defy expectations? That's what makes football so great. Let me know what you thought of the game in the comments. Did King's performance surprise you? Or is Beck the real story here? Let's talk about it.